Hello everybody! So this is my professional pro audio engineer analysis of the new Chelsea Grin song Bleeding Sun. If you want my thoughts on the more casual side of it, go back and watch the other video first and then come back to this video, as I will not be playing the music as a part of this video. I'll just be talking about what I heard. So there's one major point I want to talk about for this song. It's panning and effects. If you don't know what panning is where you hear the sound in your earphones, right? So you can hear it in your right ear, you can hear it in your left ear just independently, or you hear it in center, you can hear it 25%, 50-50, you know, whatever. So there's something called a stereo image, and that's what all audio engineers are trying to fill out, because at least the way I look at audio engineering, it's not like just left ear and right ear. It's like a 3D experience in your ears, right? So if you go back and listen to the song, you'll notice that there's a lot of different things happening very center, which I kind of like put right here normally. So I usually put center about right here, and then there's a lot of things happening independently in left ear and right ear. They tried to give the song some type of dynamics. So I really liked their use of the telephone filter. They use that a lot on this one. So a telephone filter is where you scoop out the low end and you scoop out the high end. You're left with this very small area of frequencies that haven't been affected. So you basically take all the high end, drop it. All the low end, drop it. So it's only middle. And that's how you get the effects where like everything drops out and it sounds like more chuggy, but it also sounds like really mono as well. It's a really good mono effect. There was one part, I think it was like right in the middle of the song during one of the breakdowns, where everything dropped out and it was just the telephone filter and the center. And that kind of drove the first part of that like middle breakdown that happened. I highly applaud the use of this, because you need to do something to make these mixes interesting. So when you have a band that's this heavy, just hitting you in the face the whole time with not a lot of dynamics. I mean, this was a 3-minute and 40-second song that literally dynamically went nowhere. It stayed at about the same sludgy tempo the entire song. So when you don't have like breaks or pauses or changes in instrumentation, that's when you need to start using these effects and panning, because it keeps your listener interested. So you take the electric guitar out of the right ear, maybe just do something in the left ear, like chuck 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 chuck, and then maybe you can bring in like the whole breakdown like that. It opens up, and then like you can have like a syncopated like breakdown happening there. I will say that the effects that they used on the electric guitar for the ambience was very cool, very cool. That usually winds up being my favorite part of these songs, is how they decide to use melody. Because melody, as much as I hate to break it to you guys who listen to like really heavy music like deathcore, melody is insanely important. They bring haunting melody by playing 16th notes on like one note. Every like one bar, maybe they might change it to give you some sense that a melody is happening, as there was no clean singing on this song. When your vocalist cannot provide melody, that is the purpose of the ambient electric guitar, especially in deathcore. Incredibly important that you have those types of elements in your music. Otherwise you're just a chug fest, and chug's been done. Like, I mean, yeah, like it's cool. Like the polyrhythms are cool. You know, you can make some interesting chord choices with your like palm-muting and with your chuggy breakdowns and stuff like that. But I feel like ambience is what takes a band like this and kind of like pushes them to that next level. The electric guitars had a lot of reverb and delay. Lots of reverb, lots of delay, very long reverb as well, you know, to give it the sense that it's like kind of floating out of your ears instead of just hearing the note and then it just stops automatically. I think that effect is really, really cool. You take the reverb decay speed and you just set it really high. So instead of having like instead of like having like a 0.5 second reverb, you have like a 5 second reverb. That's a long reverb. Or you can go higher and higher and higher depending on what you want your part to sound like. It also sounded like to me that they had some EQ on that reverb. I EQ my reverb. That's something that a lot of like young audio engineers don't really think about doing. They don't need the low end at all. You take your reverb track. I assume, like, this is the way I personally do it. I usually have my source track and then I bus it to a auxiliary track, which then has my effects on it, whether that's compression, delay, chorus, reverb, etc. And then I can more precisely control it that way too, and I can automate that way too. Very important. But I can also add EQ on that track. So what I usually do is I take out the bottom end because it's just not needed for those really, really high notes. And then depending on what the song needs, I will EQ it to where like, personally I like having like the pick hits. I like when the pick hits the string, so I will just put that up on the reverb only, not on the original track. So then you kind of get this cool like hit sound also as it decays. But of course, there's many things you can do with that. You can be very, very creative with EQing reverb as like a really cool effect. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I have a Patreon page in the link below, so go and check that out if you are so interested, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.